Hey guys, it's DJ with the 10 Hove Realty Group. Welcome to episode 4 of Opening Up. Today, my guest is Rick Buro of Full Dimension Crossfit. Welcome back to another episode of Opening Up. Today, my guest is Rick Buro, owner of Full Dimension CrossFit in Freehold, New Jersey. Rick, what's going on, buddy?
DJ, thank you so much for having me on. It's now more than ever, as communities, we need to lean into each other. And I just want to say how honored I am to have you on right now. Can you see me still? You good?
Yeah, you're good, man. We got you loud and clear.
All right. So I'm just, honored, man, to be on here and what you're doing. You're thinking outside the box as well, man. I know you're a realtor and a really well-known realtor locally, and what you're doing, stepping outside your own box and keeping this community leaning into each other. More than honored to be on here. So thank you.
Absolutely. Well, it's got to be really challenging what you're doing. I mean, for those who are watching and don't know this, I actually was part of your box, the CrossFit gym in Marlboro when you were there years back. Yeah. I did it for about a year. We share a lot of similarities in that we were both college baseball players. But I got to tell you, and I haven't really ever confessed this, but your ability to lead people and the motivation that you give people, that comes out immediately. And I think that's probably why your following has been so strong amongst your community of people that are members at the gym. And we'll get into that in a second, but forget about the fact that you own a business and it's a CrossFit gym. Your ability to step up and lead people as a father, as a friend, it's really impressive. So that's why I'm really honored to have you on today.
I really appreciate that, DJ. And I want to add real quick that I never forgot that first muscle up that you got. I remember it like only muscle up, buddy. I don't think I could do it this day up to this point, so we'll keep it.
So question that I have for you is, what the heck are you guys doing right now in the midst of this? Because obviously people can't be at the gym, right? They have to be at home. People still need to work out. I know the quarantine 15 is happening. People are drinking more alcohol than they normally do. How the heck do you run a CrossFit gym in the middle of all this?
Yeah, this was something that when this happened, this was an opportunity. We saw it. A lot of people ran or just sat and waited, didn't know. The day this happened, we came up with a plan of action because most things, anyone who follows me, if you come into the gym, I lead by showing, right? Show them, don't tell them. It's how I father. It's how I try to run the gym is by action. And when this happened, I said, we've got to take this best hour of the day, which is what we strive for in the gym, and we have to bring that into people's homes. Yeah. One way or another, it has to happen. And the first immediate thing within an hour of them announcing our shutdown was we need to get these people equipment. Like, we need to allow an opportunity for our clients to come into the gym and just empty this place out. So I don't know if you can see over my shoulder, but there's an empty dumbbell rack and there's a couple empty bumper storage plates. We didn't charge a single dollar for this. We had our paying customers come in here. We did it while maintaining social distance. We had like an assembly line that went all the way down the back of the gym. It was a very surreal moment for me as the owner and our coaches, because we were standing in the bay door just checking out equipment left and right. And in about a 2 or 3 hour period, every single pound of every plate, most of our barbells, assault bikes, rowers, any machine is all
the bikes away. And the rowers are all out too?
Yeah, actually, well, the bikes were the last thing to go because who would want to voluntarily take that into their house?
Somebody's got a pickup truck, I hope.
Yeah, but yeah, we had U-Hauls coming up and pickup trucks, and people they really took advantage of it. And that was how we started. That was our initial, we're going to show you how we're going to continue to add value. And I know there's some people that are charging rent for equipment and whatnot. This was like, hey, we're going to walk through this fire together, and this is how we're going to initiate this. So we let everybody take a piece or two of equipment home. And yeah, so that was the initial. And then it was, okay, now what? So that's great. Everyone has this equipment. We're live instructors. I got into fitness through P90X, Tony Horton. And I was never in a million years was I going to become an online fitness instructor. And what do you know? At 6 a.m. the next morning, here's Coach Rick live on Zoom with all of his equipment in the Zoom screen. It was a very surreal moment, 24 hours or so. And we've just kind of continued to roll with that and keep delivering that best hour of the day.
That's amazing, man. So look, let's go back a second here and let's talk about what CrossFit is. So it's kind of ubiquitous now. I think there's probably not anybody that doesn't know what it is, but CrossFit's a very different style of workout. So it's a mix of athletic movements and Olympic lifting at the same time, really trying to create overall fitness, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The whole concept of it is not to be great in any one area, is to excel in all areas, right? So you take your cardiorespiratory, your running, jumping, biking, rowing, take your weightlifting, right? Your Olympic weightlifting, and you take your gymnastics movements, your pull-ups and things, muscle ups. And we bring those all full circle into one program. But, you can go on your CrossFit level 1 definition about high intensity movements and functional capacity and work capacity. But really what it comes down to is it's mindset training. Because my members knew this. The first thing, I did a live video, a Facebook Live, the night we closed. And I said, guys, we've been training for this our entire lives in here. However long your membership is in this gym, you've been training for this moment because you're comfortable being uncomfortable. And for me, that's what it is how many times can I get a little uncomfortable? Can I push that level a little bit outside my comfort zone in the gym? And then it translates right outside. So,
yeah. So how did you, let's go back even further than that. Are you Jersey born and bred? Did you grow up here? And how'd you get into a business of CrossFit in New Jersey?
Yeah, that's a great question, man. I am Jersey born, although I am north of the Driscoll Bridge. I grew up in Livingston and made my way down here when we opened the business in 2011, the end of 2010, actually. So I look at the business and how this thing came to fruition as like two parts. As you know, I had previous owners prior to 2015, and then post 2015, I'm now the sole owner here. And I look at it as a hobby the first few years, turned into a business from 2015 on. And let me just dive into that a little deeper. Yeah. Back in 2010, when CrossFit was kind of born in the late 2000s, right? 07, 08, 09, you could have $1,000 and a weekend away and you got certified. And with that certification, you could open a gym. Now, I'm also an occupational therapist, so I have a background in how, proper movement patterns and how your body should look going through these movements. Mm-hmm. But I essentially got certified, was a member of two amazing gyms. Want to give them a quick shout out. Sin City CrossFit in Vegas, Billy and Shane and those guys, and Tim and Aaron Carroll up in Berkeley Heights here in New Jersey, CrossFit 908. So those were the two gyms that I was a member at first. And I remember having a conversation with my sister Lisa over Easter one time. And it was like, there's nothing really down in the Monmouth County area. And this is something that we love to do. She was doing CrossFit down here in Belmar. I was doing it up in Berkeley Heights. So we decided to open it. I was an occupational therapist. She was an IT recruiter. We didn't really know what we were getting ourselves into. Having the baseball background, team player, I kind of knew how to lead, but I didn't know the first thing about business. So 5 years of learning. And then from 2015 on, I look at that as the rebirth of this place. And if you were a member previously, if you could see behind us, this place looks completely different. The leadership remains the same, but the operation is now business instead of hobby. So, yeah.
That's awesome, man. So how do you run a class that is supposed to be physical and in person? And I remember back to my time when I was there, you were often walking around coaching people on technique and making sure that their lifts were correct and that they weren't going to hurt themselves. How do you do that, first of all, as a coach virtually? And then secondly, how do the members actually do those movements with the 3 pieces of gear they got to take home from the facility? I mean, what does that look like? Are they using bumper plates and barbells at home?
Yeah, some of them are. Some that have their own plates, their own barbells. Some actually took that home. Let's go to the how you run the class first. So I can't do it on a phone like I'm on right now. You have to have a PC where you could see 24, 26 people at one time. And if there's more than that in a class, you have the little arrow that you got to scroll over. But I want to say this, that if we didn't have the foundation just like firmly embedded, I don't know that it would be as effective as it was or as it is. And it takes two. It's a two-way road. It's not just how we lead the class, it's how it's received as well. And everyone, I can't even find the words to explain the gratitude I feel to our community and how receptive they've been to this change. And like I said, they've been training for it forever, but it's easier said than done. We hop on, and I'm sure you've run some Zoom webinars. Everyone mutes their screen. I'm talking. I give them a couple directions, then we unmute. We field questions. We'll go through some technique. I mean, technique is hard to do when you're not in person, but it's really worked, man. As far as the movements, we'll have 3 different tiers. So if you have a barbell, you can do X. If you don't have a barbell, but you have a dumbbell and a kettlebell, you can do this. If you don't, grab that laundry detergent and get moving.
It gives a whole nother meaning to the RX, the prescribed movement, if you're using detergent and medicine.
100%.
That's crazy. So before this happened, right, let's go back to February where things were still operating the way that they normally had. What was your membership like then, and where's your membership now, quantity-wise?
Yeah, so it's funny because we were probably in the best position we've ever been in. From a business perspective to just the culture of this place was really starting to roll. You could feel the energy in here. You always could feel the energy, but it was something that was different now. Every class was 12 to 15 plus people. There was just not an ounce of negativity ever in this place. And you could feel it. I didn't have to say it. People would just, it was almost like the look and the nod, like in baseball, right? You never don't speak about that no-hitter. You just, it's happening, right?
Yeah.
Same thing though, man. You just knew it was happening in here. And like I said, having I would call it 5 years of really just driving that cultural foundation down. When it initially happened, most people stayed on, DJ, which again, this is another moment where you're going to get me all choked up. After I'd say the first week or two, I had a large group of people that invited me into a group chat on Facebook, and it was, 60 something members that came together and bucketed a donation of over $1,000 to try and help get through this period. And on top of that, they had vouched to stay with me. That, and my vow to them was that I'm going to continue to add value. That's on me. How am I going to continue to add value day in and day out and make this the best hour of your day? But they said, hey, we're riding this with you. And that's kind of where I said, you know what, let's hold some hands here and let's walk through this fire together, guys.
Well, yeah, let's talk about that for a second, right? Because membership fees at CrossFit gyms aren't, without throwing other names out there about places where you can go for $19.99 a month. It's over $100 a month to join a CrossFit gym. Yeah. And you're talking about people who have continued to pay that. They're continuing to pay their membership fees, even though they physically can't go to the box anymore.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. And I'm sure there are a lot of other CrossFit gyms that aren't having that happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the truth. And it's something, it's really hard to find the words, DJ, because I didn't expect, when this first happened, I didn't know what to expect, to be honest, because it's north of $100 a month. I don't know what your personal situation is. People getting furloughed, restaurant workers getting let go, not on their fault. It's just how it was. And we had a few that fell off, but we were under 20 people. So let that sink in. We have over 100 members here, and less than 20 people in the first 2 weeks had to leave. We've had a few more fall off because they've unfortunately been furloughed, laid off, etc. But our core group, man, has really stayed by this. And that really motivates me, man, to just keep on pushing through and finding innovative ways to keep adding value.
Well, I think there's something that you're probably not going to talk about too, that people really need to know how you get that culture of people behind you that got your back like that. That's just not something that happens. You have to put a lot of effort into it. And I know you're not going to talk about this yourself, but this is your first day back in that box since the place shut down, if I remember correctly, because you, although you have access to that facility and nobody else does, you're not working out there every day, are you?
No, I'm not. And I've been in here to paint. You see, we've got a fresh coat of gray on the walls behind me. Shout out to Frankie and Yellow, good friend and member of the gym. So we maintained our social distance, started on opposite ends, painted the gym, put some new floors down. What I'm sitting on is our brand new Olympic lifting platform. So we've done work, but I haven't even hung from that pull-up bar behind us right now. Because again, walking through this fire with them, I'm no better than you. I'll do my workouts with a Tide laundry detergent just like you. I'll bring home, I have one barbell, one kettlebell, one dumbbell, just like everyone else.
That's crazy, man. I mean, that's true leadership right there. If you're asking people to do with what they have, you got to do the same thing. So
absolutely, yeah.
That's why your community's behind you, and that's why even the people who fell off, you got to believe they're going to be coming back to you on the other side of this once work picks back up for them and income comes back in as well. So that's a question I have for you, sort of looking forward. Just yesterday we had an extension to the stay in place or shelter in place orders here that businesses aren't going to be opening back up at least until June 6th. They just extended it another month for anybody that's watching this in hindsight. From a gym perspective, they haven't really laid out where you guys fall in that mix, but what does this look like for the next 30 days? And then once things open back up again, Are you going to change what you guys were doing before? Is it going to be just going back to resuming business as it was in February?
Yeah, that's a great question, DJ. And the answer is we're taking it one day at a time. I can tell you this, as far as when we get back, it will never look the same exact way as it did before the closure. And that could be a very positive thing. So we've looked into ways which we will be streaming every class. So moving forward, every class that's ever coached in here live is going to be streamed on Zoom as well. So we're looking into a 360 camera where when you log in, you can actually operate that camera. It films 360 all the time. And I can be looking to the left at someone else, and you can be looking to the right at someone doing another thing. And you can do this in the comfort of your own garage. So, doing live stream classes is going to stay with us. And then having a deal, we have a pretty large space here. We're fortunate for that. We're over 6,000 square feet. We can hold probably 10 to 15 people while maintaining that 6-foot social distancing. And our outside is huge as the weather gets nice. So we're just going to, for the next 30 days, man, continue to try and be creative, add value online, give suggestions for outdoor workouts in your neighborhood, park workouts, things to keep it fresh. And then when we get back, there's going to be a whole lot of change going on, but it's all going to be changed for the better, man. Yeah,
for sure. So we're going to put up your Instagram handle for the business and for your personal as well. And I would really, really suggest, guys, if you're watching this, follow Rick's personal profile as well. And you're going to get some amazing motivation, because I know the video you put up yesterday, you're doing 5K a day for the month of May. Is that right?
Yeah. So it's funny, man, you brought that up, because I actually wanted to touch on that a little bit. So challenges have always been something that keeps me accountable, keeps me motivated. If I know I have to do something, then my actions throughout the day are going to match the fact that I have to complete that task. So for the month of May, I'm running a 5K a day. My friend Claire Thomas at First Form, she started it, and I was like, you know what? I got to hop on this because it's going to keep me accountable. And so I posted a video after my run yesterday. It was a weird day, and I had those two options. I was like, I can go to King, favorite brewery locally, and get a couple 4-packs, or I can go run. And it was that decision. It was real time. It was like, all right, just get in your car and go. I actually went. And I picked up a couple 4-packs, and I walked them in, and I was like, get your ass outside and run. And while I was running, the emotions I was feeling is like, you would have felt like crap if you opened those beers. Your anxiety would have gone up, and tomorrow would not have been a good day.
Yep.
I went for a run, right? Call it the runner's high, whatever you want to call it. The endorphin rush was there. I felt really good, motivated, inspired. So I got on there, and I just said, like, hey, I chose doing this activity over drinking. DJ, this is no exaggeration, over 15, probably closer to 20 personal messages from friends, colleagues, from college, 2 people I haven't even talked to since high school that were like, thank you for that. I've been drinking like every day. And it's not a lot, but it's way more than the normal. And I just needed to hear that. And I think so many people right now need to hear that, man, because everyone's working from home, right? With the exception of our essential workers in the hospitals, so many offices have been formed in the home now. Yeah,
I mean, I think all of us, if you consume alcohol, are consuming more alcohol than they did before this happened. It's just convenient, right? You're home, the bar's right there, the beer's right there. You can still go to the liquor store, or you could have it delivered. So it just becomes easier. And like you said, everything you choose to do in a day is a choice. And tomorrow gets affected by that drink that you have tonight, or the 2 drinks that you had tonight. And that message actually hit me pretty strong when I saw it as well, because I finished up my video interview last night with Daryl from Rooney's, and I was just beat. A long day, bunch of clients, and I went downstairs and I had a glass of bourbon. And I watched that video actually this morning, I think is when I had seen it. And I said, you know what, if I had seen that video before I'd had the drink, I wouldn't have done it. I would have just taken the night off.
That's powerful stuff, man. It really is. But when you really dial it down, is what you're doing right now, and what are your goals, and how do you want to feel tomorrow? Because every action that you do today is going to affect tomorrow's day for you. So
yeah, for sure. So that's what I was trying to get at, guys. If you don't follow Rick, I think it's at Ultra Rick, ULTRARICK on Instagram. Just follow him from the motivation side alone. But then on the second side of this, Rick, if people aren't part of your CrossFit gym right now and they're drinking too much, more than they want to, they were going to use this time frame in quarantine to actually get in shape, but they don't really know where to start. What's your advice to them? What should they be doing right now? What can they do with your CrossFit gym right now?
Yeah, so it's funny you say that, because we've actually had a handful of non-CrossFit people reach out to me. And I'm like, hey, just come in, join the Zoom class. All you need is laundry detergent. Like literally, I'm not just making that up, man. We have people that every day standing there with their laundry detergent in front of them, you know. But you've got to, first of all, man, without taking this into an hour-long interview, you got to write it down. You got to write down your why and what means a lot to you. Like I know my kids, and showing my kids how I want them to be treated and how I want them to view leadership is really important to me. So all of my actions, I think, okay, how can I show my kids what I want them to interpret? And yesterday that was putting the drink down and going for a run. And guess what? I called my daughter afterwards, Taylor. They're at their mom's house. And guess who's running with the dog? Taylor. So they're watching. Everyone's watching, man. So you got to think about what your why is, and just one step, one day at a time.
So if people want to get into those Zoom broadcasts, what should they do? Where should they reach out to you?
Yeah, so if you go on to Ultra Rick, you see in my bio there's a link to the Zoom class. If there's not, there will be after this. And if you go on fulldimensioncrossfit.com, the Zoom link is right there as well. But we welcome, everyone is welcome to come in there. I think right now the mission is just get people moving and step out of that comfort zone a little bit. Once that becomes your norm, day one is a little hard, right? Day two becomes a little easier. Day three, we got a win streak here. And that's when change starts to happen. So.
Yeah, and the community of people that you guys build within the CrossFit community gets so strong. I mean, I was there for a year, like I mentioned in the past, but I still have people that I'm friends with from that year that I was in the box in the gym. So it's an amazing community of people, even if it's just virtually right now that you're meeting with them, that you really can lean on, and people that are there to push you to do things you just can't motivate yourself to do at home in a workout. Yeah,
especially right now, it's so important because unfortunately, that's the best we can do right now, right? You can't go into a gym. You can't be with people. So that's our mission right now, is just to provide that space for you to kind of escape and make it the best hour of your day, like I said.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so 2 obligatory questions that I ask everybody. First one is, when you're able to go back out and hug somebody, who's the first person you hug?
Oh, all right. So this is a no-brainer, by the way. You're gonna have to say it's a no-brainer. So here's the deal. We've played by the rules. We really have, you know. And I have not. I've seen my parents from a distance. They've driven by. They've waved. And my mom got out one day, and she was all like, you could tell she was a little teary-eyed, and she just wanted to. So, yeah, she's the first person I'm going and hugging, man. Sorry, Dad. I love you too, man. But my mom's got to get that first.
Dads are used to it, man. It's always mom that gets the call out at the Super Bowl. Yep. When you score a touchdown, it's the way it is. Next one. So you live in Brick Township right now, right?
Yes, correct.
So it doesn't have to be down there, but you're allowed to actually go and sit down in a restaurant tomorrow. It's open back up, 6-foot social distancing. Where's the first restaurant you go to?
This one, too, it's a no-brainer. My guys at Shrimp Box and Point. Missed the heck out of those guys. That deck watching the sunset, we missed that, and that will be the first place that we go. So Brian and Tommy, we're coming for you guys, man.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, with that, is there anything you want to leave people with here? Final parting notes?
No, just that, you have a choice, and that, it's not what happens to you. It's how you choose to respond to it, and you can really change the trajectory of what you're in. And right now, we're all in something. Right? Rock bottom happens at different times in different people's lives. Right now, to some degree, we're all faced with some pretty big adversity. So it's the choices you make daily. Make them wisely, and know that you can get out of this.
That's great advice. And there's no doubt you're going to get people flocking back to your gym that either were part of it in the past, or people that are working out from home right now that just can't wait to get back in there once everything opens back up. But we wish you guys the best on staying afloat until then, and then a huge, strong recovery once things get back to normal.
DJ, thanks so much, man. Again, I'm just, it's pretty awesome to reconnect on here, and keep doing what you're doing, man. It's really impressive.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys. Please make sure to check out these other videos. Drop us a like down below, and make sure you're subscribed so you get a notification as soon as the next video drops. And if you know another New Jersey business that should be featured on here, drop us a comment down below.